So we're going to be looking at planning and awareness as we approach roundabouts, meeting situations, junctions. Planning and awareness is so important. So I'll be talking about what I'm be doing and what sort of speeds I'm doing, what sort of gears I'm doing, to give you an idea of what you should be doing really as a learner driver to make some progress. So at the moment we're on a 30-mile-an-hour road. It's fairly free. There's nothing too hazardous. You've got a couple of side roads. I'm doing 29 mile an hour in third gear. So I'm doing appropriate speeds. Now the hazard there is the brow of the hill. You can just about see it's going to go downhill there, so I can't see what's coming, so I'm not going to be like keeping that same speed. I'll be thinking there could be something past that hill that could be blocking, like a parked car. There's a guy crossing the road there with a dog. It's a hazard. He's far away. He's not affecting us. And this is the thing is that when you're driving along the road, you can dismiss things straight away. It's the things that catch you out, like the car on the left there, half on the road, half off the road, is a hazard. Now, if it's a big bus coming the other way, it might be tricky because on the other side there's another parked car. So it's hazard perception. And I'll use the middle bit to actually to go through it safely. But if there's a car or a bus coming through, then it's meeting situations there, our situation. So is it being a planning awareness of the hazard that's coming. And ahead of us, we've got two small mini roundabouts. We're going to go ahead at the first one and left at the second, which is going to take us to a side road, so there's going to be more parked cars. There's going to be potential hazards all the time. And while you're driving along here, what you're looking for is little side roads, like the left turns or the right turns, where cars can come out of. You've got a bend to the right, and look in the mirror, there's a car behind us. I'm slowing down for the roundabout, so I'm slowing down for second gear here because I can't see on the right. So I'm bringing the speed down for about 18 mile an hour, second gear, lift the clutch slowly, checking to the right, final check to the right, it's definitely clear. I'm going to go left at second one, mirror signal left. There's a car indicating right, so I'm going to slow down for him because he's going to get there same time as me. So I'm giving way to him because now it's stopping him, or her, and I'm moving off there, and I'm checking my mirror as I'm going round. There's a white van behind me, following me. And there's a couple of parked cars in the distance. That car's turning left, and this is what you should be thinking while you're driving. And easing off the gas there. There's a guy on the left. There's a car pulling out in the distance. Could be a problem for me. So I'm slowing down for the car coming down. I'm looking right on the road, looking at that right turn, using my first gear here, and I'm back off the clutch, taking my time, bringing myself back in. That car's going to pull out because even though it was my right away, then he wasn't slowing down. He was because as soon as he pulls out, it's his right away there, isn't it? So it was a bit of a anticipation of the fact that he's not going to give way there. And as soon as he pulled out, I'll be in the way, so I'm bringing myself back in. Anticipation of it. I've got a couple of more parked cars. There's a person on the left looking as though they might cross over. Yeah, stopping for a reason. Checking my mirrors at the road, checking my side mirrors. They're waiting at the side of the road, and that's what you should be thinking. What they're waiting for, they're going to cross. I can easily make this car in the distance, but if I was going past this van and he was slowing down for me, that would be wrong. And I've got a bend where bends to the left, zebra crossing, so I'm checking the zebra, checking the sides. Don't forget the sides, people approaching. There's a guy on the left there. Oh, here he is. I'm slowing down, and it's slowing down for the crossing. Now while you're waiting for crossings, check the sides again. Make sure no one's appearing from your blind spots. That's a perception, awareness of what's going to happen in the next few seconds. We're going to go right at the roundabout and follow the road ahead. So when you're doing these things, when you're driving along, don't just kind of think it's clear. Think about what could happen. I'm looking to the right, it looks clear, it's definitely clear. Nice big turn to avoid that curb, and I'm following the road ahead. And it looks safe because it's clear, but there's hazards ahead of me. We've got a school warning, we've got a zebra crossing, we've got a person on the bike, I've got a car who might try overtaking the bike. See, he's doing some slowing down a bit for that reason. Anticipation, a taxi, don't hang around today. There's a bus coming through, I'm going to slow down and stop a bit short deliberately because of the size of him. Now I can see the giveaway line's about half to 3/4 line ahead of me, half to 3/4 length, but I'm holding back deliberately because of the size of him. But I'm not going to commit myself. I'm looking at the road and I'm coming out, and I'm going to be going right at this roundabout. Now I could have went to the giveaway line, but it might have been difficult for that bus to get out, to get back in. I'm giving way to the right. 1, 2, third car, or one's doing a U-turn, the third car's turning right. Where's that car going? So he's trying to do a U-turn, hitting the curb. you don't try and do U-turns on mini roundabouts, not that size. Otherwise you're going to damage your car, or worse, you're going to hit someone. Now what gave it away a little bit then is it started slowing down a lot. Now we're in the 20 zone and I'm in second gear doing 19 mile an hour. Lots of little zebras here, so I'm looking up the road. There's a 30 zone ahead of me. Now it's important, don't speed up. If you get to 25, you're breaking speed limit, aren't you? So you should be 19, 20 max, because we're not past 30 until, we're not going to speed up until past 30. So I'm checking my mirrors and I'm speeding back up at this point. It's safe to do so. I'm going to be going left coming up, so I'm checking my mirrors, and it's all anticipation. I can't see what's around the corner, so I'm slowing down for a second, getting my speed down, lifting the clutch up slowly. I'm doing about 10 miles an hour in second gear, looking at the road, as in looking at the road I'm going into. There's a couple of parked cars on the right, checking my mirror because I'm in a new road, checking my side mirror. I'm looking up the road. There's a parked car on the left, there's a learner on the right doing possibly park on the right because they've got the side lights on, you can see they're lit up. I'm looking beyond them, checking my mirrors, coming out slowly, cautious because there's a bend ahead of me. And I'm giving them both cars space, because he might be parked on the right, or he could be finishing a lesson and open the door on you, think like that. And I'm using third gear, I'm in 27 miles an hour. I'm not going to hit 30, even though you could, because there's a bends, there's parked cars, because what could happen is people come around the corner in cars and vans and buses. There's lots of cars on the right, there's a few cars on the left. I'm looking for side roads, there's a bus stop. That's what's running through your mind. That's what I'm talking about all the time. I'm looking up the road, there's a bend to the right. I can get past this first car quite easily. And I'm looking to come back in, and I'm covering my brake. I'm down to 20 miles an hour, checking up the road, and I'm coming back out. Now, if that car was going a lot faster, I won't even try to overtake that parked car then, because it's risky. So when they're far away, you get good at judging things. And I'm going to do a right turn here. So I'm checking my mirrors to the right, signalling to the right, slowing down for second gear. Because remember, if you're going to go left or right, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be in second gear, unless it looks really narrow, in which case first gear. And it's easy then, as I come out of the bend, I'm on accelerator, back to third gear. There's a car on the right rushing. He's going to check. See, he rushed to the junction. Then you knew then that he was going to pull out. You could tell the speed he was going. He's in that much of a rush, and you can anticipate things. And this is why you practice your hazard perception. So what you've got in your hazard perception, you carry through to your driving. So he's racing off. I'm doing 29 mile an hour, and he's racing away. So he's got to be breaking speed limit easier. And he'll get caught one day, or she will. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. But they'll get caught, and that's what you've got to remember. Don't keep up with them, know the speed limit, know what you're doing. So it looks like a fast road, but it's only 30. Parked cars on the left. Now look at the gap between the white line and the cars. I've got enough space to get through easy. So I'm looking at the road, they've got their own lane on the right, I've got my own lane next to the cars. So if a car comes the way, all I've got to do is stay in my lane. I'm looking at the road, checking my mirrors again. I'm going to bring myself back to my lane a little bit. I've got a pedestrian crossing there. No one stood by it. Not being pressed, it's not going to change. I'm looking down the road, cars pulling out on my left. There's a couple of people on the left in between cars that are walking. Keep an eye on them, they might still bring themselves onto the road. Yeah, there's people on the right, there's a bus on the right, there's people at bus stops, we're near a college, lots more people, lots more hazards, so you've got to be careful. I'm doing 20 miles an hour. We're approaching a roundabout. I'm going to follow the road ahead of the roundabout. So I'm doing nothing too tricky. I'm looking away, pedestrian crossing is clear, dropping down to second gear on the approach to the roundabout. There's a diversion road ahead, left lane's closed. I'm looking to the right, taking my time, and I'm following the road ahead at the roundabout, checking my left side mirror just in case. Now this is where it's important. The left lane said left end, didn't it? But the left exit's closed. So even though people might not realise this, they're going to try and turn left, and then they're realising try and go ahead. So you're in the correct lane at this point, in the right lane to go ahead. So be aware of cars in the left lane who do it wrong and try going ahead. There's a danger there, so it's hazard perception, awareness of what could happen. The lights are on green, keep an eye on them, keep an eye on them, keep an eye on them, bringing myself out into the middle, anticipation of that sharp bend. And I'm just keeping my safe gap from the car in front of me because everything's starting to slow down. I'm dropping back down to a lower gear, let that gap develop, because when you slow down in traffic you're going to get closer to the cars, but as they speed up, let that gap develop, that 2-second gap. So I'm doing a, you know, fairly safe gap, so 2 seconds, let this car pass that telephone pole and we'll measure 2 seconds as it goes past it. 0, 1, 2, 3. I might have been counting a little bit faster, so definitely 2. So we'll try it again as it goes past the lamp post. 0, 1, 2, 3. You know, easy. We've got a pedestrian crossing, zebra crossing there, so we're looking to go left at the mini roundabout. So we're checking our mirrors, signalling left. It's fairly clear that red car's not affecting it at the moment. As I'm turning, speed limit changed to 20 miles an hour. I'm looking up the road, there's a red car pulling out. I'm being careful, he's not going fast, so it's not a problem. If he was going fast, I'd be thinking what am I going to do. It looks like I can get through here quite easy, but there's a bus in the distance, so I'm going to use that space in the middle to avoid the bus, because he's big. So I'm going to bring himself back in. And I'm just going to give way to other cars I'm in at the moment. I'm looking at the road, checking my mirrors. It's important that you keep an eye on what's next to you and what's behind you. Otherwise, you'll have like blinkers on. You'll have tunnel vision. So I'm looking at the road. I'm slowing down just a little bit early, because the hazard there on the right, the red van. I could have carried on going through, but it could have been dangerous. I'm looking down the road. It's quite tricky because there's lots of parked cars. There's a crossroads ahead of us. There's a sign saying the left lane's closing on the other side, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be in a right turn, so I'm checking my mirrors and signaling right at the crossroads. And I'm going to slow down because I can't see. I'm slowing down to give way. You know, that's what you got to remember. You got to say to yourself, is it open or closed? Well, it was a closed crossroads, so I'm just going to play it safe, stop at the crossroads and have a good look. And I'm looking for cars pulling out on my left, cars on the right pulling out, and then I'm reversing. You know, that woman there's watching the phone, not looking, now she's looking. So you've got to watch out for people. So when you get into more built up areas, you've got to start thinking hazards, planning awareness, all these things are all kind of linked together. That car's turning right, he's slowing down for the bend, I'm slowing down with him. He's going out of the way, so it's even better. The taxi's waiting on the right. We're back in the 20 zone. Going to be going left at this roundabout, so I'm checking my mirrors, signalling left into a car park. I'm slowing down to the right because I can't see. That's it, giving way to the right. And that's what you got to keep remembering. Well, no matter how good you get, you don't want to take silly chances. So when you're going into or you're approaching a junction or a mini roundabout or anything you can't see properly, you should be slowing down and possibly giving way. Let's see what this taxi's doing, because it's moving. Give him a chance to carry on. Oh, he's stopped now. No, he's moving. He can't make his mind up. Taxis, I'm going to, you know, a little bit passing slowly now. Just be careful, because there's not a lot of space. And he's chatting away to someone, but because he's moving, then you've got to let him go, because he might just suddenly carry on. So I'm checking to my right. It's clear. Definitely clear there, because the road's closed. That person's not looking. There's people around everywhere, and that's what you've got to think. Hazards, awareness of what they might do. They're on the phone, they might step out. I'm going to go right at the crossroads because we're in a one-way street. We're going to be in the right lane to do it. And the one-way street ends, but I'm stopping to check. Right, left, right. It's nice and clear, and I'm off. And I'm going to be going ahead. There's a woman on the road walking along. There's a crossroads, so we got the main road, two side roads approaching us. I'm looking past the bend, and this is what it's like when you're driving around. And I know some of it being quite intense, but even the quiet areas can be dangerous. There's a left bend and a delivery truck on the bend, and a parked car before the bend, and someone with the door open, and someone with a walking stick. All the time you're thinking what's going on. So I'm slowing down for the bend here, because it's dangerous, because that anything coming around the corner could be on my side of the road. Yeah, because they could be avoiding that truck. We've got double parked cars ahead of us, which are making it harder. I'm slowing down for the van coming through, checking my mirrors, a car behind me. I'm in second gear, not rushing, taking me time. I'll come to my left, they go to their left. I'm going to go left at the end, but taking me time because cars can come around there. I'm going to go left at the junction, definitely a closed junction, you can see nothing, so it's going to be quite tricky. I'm stopping, but I'm not too close to the left because I'll hit the curb. I'm kind of in the middle of it deliberately because it's a tight turn. If I get myself too close to that left curb to keep it nice and neat, I'll be right on that curb when I'm turning. And I'm going right here, and I'm stopping because of all the parked cars. And this time I'm slightly to the left. I'm looking down the road, and I'm just being careful here. There's a bit of a gap on the right there, so as I turn in, I'm looking down the road. I'm not going to rush, I'm just going to slow down. It's definitely clear. I'm back on the gas. I won't commit myself so early because if a car's coming, it's difficult to see what the parked cars. So I stopped and had a good look, and then erred on the side of caution. I'm looking down the road, lots of parked cars on the bend. I'm looking at a white car for reflections of anything coming around the corner towards us. So the white car ahead of us, something's moving there. I'm checking. We're all right. It's the reflections of the junction of the main road. I'm going to go left at the end of here. Now, I'm not going to go to the left to do this because I can see how tight it is. I'm going to stick to the right side to turn left, deliberately to get a better angle to go into the other side of the road. And I'm just going to move forward a little bit to see. And I'm going to turn now to keep in my lane. Now if I kept myself in the left side again, same sort of thing, when I turn, my back wheel's going to be on that curb. Or if I don't turn enough, I'm going to be on the wrong side of the road when I come out of it. So you have to kind of think about your position a little bit to make it easy on them tight junctions. So if you've enjoyed the video, and driving around Bletchley and Milton Keynes has kind of give you an eye-opener to what it's like, and the planning and the awareness and the hazards, they're all kind of linked, aren't they? At the moment, like I say, videos come out every Monday, so if you like the channel, subscribe. If you've already subscribed and you're liking the videos, feel free to share them, and watch out for my next video next Monday.